Hey everyone, I'm Tanai, and today we're going to be looking at an exciting product that might just be one of the greatest upgrades to the Mac ever, the M1 chip. And today we'll be specifically looking at the latest MacBook Air, which features this chip. We'll be talking about how the M1 chip works. We'll also be sharing our experiences using the MacBook Air. So before we start the video, it would be great if you could subscribe to our channel, and that way you can watch our future videos. And don't forget to comment any questions or concerns you have. So sit back and enjoy because you're watching BUA Tech Review.
Alright, let's first start by unboxing the MacBook Air. If you bought a Mac before, the packaging is almost identical. Apple's minimalistic packaging has always been excellent. The model we got right here is a Mac with 256GB SSD and 8GB unified memory. This also has an 8-core CPU and a 7-core GPU. The price for this Mac starts at $999, but you can also get an educational discount on Apple, and you can receive this Mac for $899. You can also get a more higher-end Mac with 512GB of SSD and an 8-core GPU and CPU, which will cost you $1,149 with the educational discount and $1,249 without it. You can also customize your Mac on the Apple Store to have either 1TB or 2TB of SSD or 16GB of unified memory. Enough with the info. Let's start unboxing it. The box slides out really smoothly, and the first thing you see is the MacBook itself, and we've got this in the space gray colorway. There's also an option to get this MacBook in gold or silver. Let's pull this tab to take it out to see what's inside.
So we got some Apple paperwork and a manual on how to operate the device. You also get some Apple stickers, and they're actually space gray too. And I haven't actually noticed that before because we usually get white Apple stickers. Okay, so let's put that aside, and next we've got a 2-meter Type-C to Type-C power cable, which is standard on any Mac you buy. And then finally we've got the charging brick, and I believe it is 10 watts. And that is basically all the items you receive in the box.
Next, let's actually open the computer and it should automatically turn on. Let's remove this protective sheet and begin setting it up. The setup is extremely simple, and you just have to enter the country, language, your Apple ID, and password. It will then ask you to create a passcode for the computer, and it will ask if you want to transfer data from your previous computer to the new Mac.
You can actually transfer data from any computer, which I find is really useful. Next, there's an option to register your fingerprint so that you can unlock your Mac with Touch ID. The Touch ID sensor is located in the top right corner of the keyboard and works really well. After all that, you're basically done, and you can finally start using the brand new M1 MacBook Air.
Okay, so the main attraction of this MacBook Air is that it's supercharged by the Apple M1 chip, as we mentioned. But before we talk about that, I'd like to tell you guys about this video sponsor. The Wii. This chip has 16 billion transistors, and it has a CPU, a GPU, a neural engine, and so much more, and all that's on one tiny chip, which is impressive. So what does it do? Well, in comparison to previous models, it allows the CPU to be 3.5 times faster, the GPU 5 times faster, and the Mac's machine learning to work 9 times faster. This boosts the efficiency of the Mac, which means that your battery lasts longer, and it allows the Mac to be quieter because it doesn't need a fan to cool it down.
This means that your Mac will be faster, and you can open apps instantly without load times, and it won't overheat immediately. Here's a graph provided by Apple showcasing the performance versus power for the M1 Mac compared to other computers. Obviously, you can see that the Mac can have a better performance for a tiny amount of power, but is this all true, and does this actually hold up in reality? So I've been using the MacBook Air for a week now, and to be honest with you, it was one of the best experience I've had on a Mac. To give you some reference, I've actually used a 2019 MacBook Pro before, and a switch to the latest MacBook Air was immediately noticeable. When you touch the trackpad, the screen instantly wakes up instead of taking like 1 minute to load, and I felt way more productive. And I felt like the apps were running really smoothly, which pretty much shocked me because usually apps stutter or crash when I use the MacBook Pro from 2019. The screen is stunning as before, and it has a 13.3-inch Retina display, which is an LED backlit display with IPS technology. It has 400 nits of brightness and has True Tone technology, which means you see colors the same way you see them in the outside world. There are only 2 Thunderbolt ports, and there is no HDMI, no SD card slot, or even a regular USB port. This means you will have to carry an extra adapter to use these ports. Also, the inbuilt camera only has a resolution of 720p, which isn't really that great. Usually on an iMac it's 1080p. And a good thing about the latest MacBook Air is that they went back to the regular keyboard, which is backlit by the way, instead of using the butterfly keyboards. But overall, I loved my experience on the MacBook Air, and it's definitely an improvement, and Apple is heading in the right direction. Okay, so finally, what are the pros? This Mac is very fast, has greater battery life, and is quieter. And the cons. There's only a 720p camera, and there are only 2 ports. And this Mac is available in the BU Apple Store.
Thank you so much, Rowan, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you do have any questions, please feel free to comment them down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.